Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for this 19th day of November 2018. Well, we have, numerologically, it's a 1 day, so new beginnings. And, of course, we're in this month and year of illumination. It's also a week of Thanksgiving. For those of us in the United States that celebrate Thanksgiving this week, some people don't celebrate it. Some people feel that it's, sort of celebrating something that was not so good for some of us who were already living here ultimately. So, and then you've got the whole argument over whether or not Christopher Columbus actually discovered America. I don't happen to think he did, but that's just me. So I just like to have it as a day where I have turkey. But if you get to spend time with family this week, that's awesome. Enjoy it. It's a blessing. And if you don't have family, perhaps you have some friends you can spend it with. And if you don't, if you want to spend it all by yourself, some people actually prefer that. They're not into holidays with others. Well, then blessings to you. I'm with you. Believe me, it's just me and my husband now, so we don't have anyone around us. So we spend these holidays together. We bought a turkey, a small one, but I don't have a whole lot of room in my freezer, so that I could only fit just a tiny turkey breast in there. So just in case we can't find a turkey that'll fit in my refrigerator to thaw today, because we have to go today to get it. I just don't have any more room in my freezers. We had quite a bountiful harvest this season from the garden, and so there's just no room to put a big old turkey in there like I usually do. And so I told my husband, he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I think we just need to wait, and then we'll clean out the refrigerator and we'll get a space, and then we'll find a turkey that fits that space. And if we can't, then we're stuck with that turkey breast. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go find a turkey that fits in the size of the space I have in my refrigerator. And then on Wednesday, I guess I'll take it out and finish thawing it. And I think we're going to try cooking it on the outside grill this year. We have a really nice Weber grill. We waited a lifetime for it, and we finally we had a baby Weber for a while. I don't know what it is about those Weber grills, but I mean, my husband, he'll take out something and he'll take out maybe a chicken and put out and then put a whole bunch of vegetables and put it all in a big dish, and he'll take it out there to the grill, and hour and a half later it's done, and oh my goodness. It's just insane. I don't have to cook inside the house. It's really cool. So we're going to try doing the turkey out there and see how that goes. I don't know. Got to try something new now and then. Keep it interesting. Anyhow, let's count 13 and see what we have. Well, we have the Seven of Pentacles. We sure have been getting a lot of Pentacles lately. Pentacles have to do with our foundation, our physical matter, money, wealth, legacy, all of that. And here we have, let's see, we'll come over here. Maybe. Okay, maybe I'll come over here. There we go. Try to get it in close so you can see it, but I don't want the glare from the candles here. So Seven of Pentacles. So he's standing there, he's resting a little bit. This is what my husband does. I'll see him out in the field, he'll just be standing there, resting on his shovel or something. Just looking around, just looking at everything, He likes to pause. I'll see him outside, just, all of a sudden, he'll just stop and he'll just think, and look around and just sort of take a moment. Whenever I see this card, I think of him. He's basically looking at, all that he's been, cleaning up or harvesting or what have you. He's just sort of surveying everything that he's got. You see 6 of them are over here. Well, 6 of them are over here. And you've got one down beneath his feet. So not a whole lot of balance there. But let's see what my little notes say on the Seven of Pentacles. Mostly it's about taking stock and the promise of fortune and everything. I kind of like my sevens to be in a little more balance. I view the seven visually as the scales. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, basically everything I just said is what I have down here. We're pausing, we're taking stock, we're just, observing the process basically, seeing what we've got after all is said and done. See if we can get another card though and see if it gives us just a little more information before we draw the rune. I've sort of been drawing more than one card lately. And it's not because they're court cards either. I always draw a second card at least if I do a court card, because those are just, they're interesting. I mean, they can indicate the sort of individual on the face of the card, whether it's a page or a princess, which is usually if it's not a page, it's a princess. And so that would be a student or somebody with undeveloped potential. The knights or the princes would be the catalytic, young individual, the young man going out there on the grail quest. Then you have the queen and the king. And so they're, older people that have authority and all of that. So, or they could just simply be the qualities of those individuals. So you just don't know. And it's helpful if you draw another card just to kind of give a little bit more perspective. But let's count 13 again and see if we can add another dimension to this Seven of Pentacles. Well, we have death, which is card 13 of the major arcana, which is an awesome card. Some of these now, I think it's the Morgan Greer deck that it's so colorful, and it has a very cool death card. But I don't care what deck it is, traditional or non-traditional. The death cards in the tarot decks are just awesome, and it's all about transformation and transition. Okay, it's not about. I mean, it can be about endings and beginnings, but basically it's a major arcana card, so it's a soul archetype card, and it talks about transition. And here we're talking about transition, aren't we? From growth to harvest. Okay, and so there may be a little bit more here, though. I like that it's the 13th card, of course. That's my number. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about a change of behavior that's coming, maybe, that's positive, new opportunity. New ideas, clearing away the old to make way for the new. And in a sense, that's what he's doing here. Maybe he's, cleaning up the area, not so much harvesting, but actually cleaning up after the harvest. That could be that too. Dying and becoming. That's another theme of a card like this. But it represents maybe the crone aspect, as does harvest. When you're talking about the triple aspect of self, maiden, mother, and crone, you're talking about the cyclical natures of things. And so basically, maybe the overall theme here is the cycles that we're going through. And of course, in this week of Thanksgiving, if you are going to go visit family, just remember this too shall pass. Don't take it so seriously. Everybody's trying to be on their best behavior, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Maybe sometimes we take things too seriously in those moments where we come together for just a brief moment, just for a day or an overnight or something. You don't have to make it such a difficult moment for everyone. Everybody just takes a deep breath, goes in. Everyone's nice to one another. Don't be controversial. It'll be fine. But that's not how it happens, is it? But these days, with people being so divided, politically, it's just interesting what happens. I think I read on Twitter where I'm not going to visit my family this year because they voted for Trump and I didn't. So so it's one of those situations going on. In families literally splitting apart because of all of this. We have Vunyo. Now Vunyo, I believe, is it the 8th rune? I hate to go from memory. Let me look. Yeah, Eighth rune of the Elder Futhark means joy, harmony with others during this week of Thanksgiving. Oh my God. It basically, Vunyo is one of the loveliest runes of the Elder Futhark, given that it does talk about joy and harmony and peace and inner peace. And it is the wish rune. I was thinking it might not be, but it is. It's the wish rune. And it talks about happily ever after. And it's, but we think about happiness coming to us, right? And joy coming to us. And what we need to really be thinking about, we don't need to wait for it. We need to manifest it. Okay. If joy is spilling forth from us everywhere we go, then I think that we'll stand a better chance of receiving it in return. If we sit around and wait for it to happen, it's probably not going to. So we need to be the ones to manifest that joy. So I know I talk about this. I mention Bashar a lot here when I see Vunyo, because I'm always it's always delightful when you watch one of Daryl Anka's channelings of Bashar, because Bashar talks always about living in your highest joy. And when I see Vunyo, that's what I think as well. So on this week of Thanksgiving, let us proceed and manifest our highest joy, and see if that doesn't bring a lovelier tone to the week than what might otherwise happen. Also, let's keep those that have lost so much in our thoughts and our prayers and our good intentions. And in fact, if you want to cast a ritual, cast a healing spell, that might be something to think about. A lot of people have lost a lot of stuff. They've lost their lives, maybe. They've lost their homes. The videos that we're seeing coming of people trying to drive out of the fires in California are just terrifying. So much so that my husband showed me one last night on Facebook, and I couldn't watch it. It was so bad. And I believe this woman survived. So it was just something that, what we're seeing now with all of the fires in California. I know that there's a thing with some folks about, oh, there's no such thing as climate change, but I think we can agree that our climate is changing, irrespective of how that's happening. I know big business doesn't want to necessarily be good stewards of the land because it costs them money and it reduces profits. But if we don't, then I think whatever we're doing to contribute to this, then we're going to have to own that, irrespective of what people want to think. It isn't convenient. It isn't an easy thing to necessarily deal with, but we have to deal with it nevertheless. I think what we witnessed in Paradise, California is one of the most terrifying things that I've ever seen. It almost looks like a nuclear bomb went off there. And I mean, I don't know what to say. And to have this happen before, a week of Thanksgiving, I don't know. I think we need to remember, if we are not having to cope with anything remotely like that, then I think we need to be thankful. I think we need to remember that there's always other people that have their lives far worse than ours are. If you just want to take a look at war-torn areas, if you want to take a look at what's happening in Yemen, if you want to take a look at what's happening in areas in Africa, starvation, famine, all kinds of things. So if you're not experiencing any of those things, then be thankful and express that thankfulness to others. And lastly, to our troops on the border, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not home with your families. I'm sorry that you're being used this way. You don't need to be, and it's unfortunate. So I hope that you're able to have something more than an MRE for Thanksgiving dinner. I hope that happens for you, because you deserve it. You're being used in a way that's not right. And with any luck, maybe they'll gain some sense about them and send you home this week instead of waiting until sometime in December to do that. So thank you so much for your service, and thank you for all that you're doing for us. And I'm so sorry for what's happening right now. This is not at all what you're here for. So But thank you so much. And to everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for stopping by. Check out the blog that I write, Stepping Aside, at imsteppingaside.com. And click subscribe if you want to come back. And I would love you to come back, but click subscribe here on the YouTube channel. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Anyhow, I'll see you tomorrow. And be good to yourself, be good to others, express some joy in your life, and blessed be.